Hey y'all, give me a minute. For some reason, I couldn't get the space started, so Maureen's trying to get here, so let's just stand by for 1 minute. Thanks.
Yeah, problems. Yeah. I'm just getting ready for the drive, but I'll be here. She's here.
Oh, there she is.
I've sent her an invitation.
Yes, I did. Thank you. Welcome, Sean and Barry and Hayden and Jax. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming over.
Oh, we lost her. Let's see. God bless her. It'll be a minute. We're just gonna, you know. What a good discussion we were having earlier about the Hall of Fame. I wish I could have continued it. We'll have to pick it back up. Maureen, if you would just request in the bottom left corner, it'll just work better. Sometimes Twitter just is annoying, and it's just easier if you request a microphone in the bottom left corner and we can get you approved to come speak, because me sending you an invite doesn't seem to be working. Please and thank you, ma'am. All right, Donna, there in your um, bar at the bottom, there's a little heart. If you click on that, it'll give you emojis. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I mean, Maureen. Sorry, Donna. I meant Maureen. Maureen, can you hear us? Can you hear me, Maureen? I'm going to boot her from the space.
Okay. Oh, she can hear.
Oh, she can't? Okay. Now, Maureen, at the bottom left, click on request. Click on request in your bottom left.
Press the mic button and it should request.
Wait a minute. Maureen, are you on a PC? You have to be on a telephone. That may be the problem. If you're on a computer, an iPad, you have to be on a phone. So if you want to go get on your phone, I'm sorry. You can't be a speaker unless you're on a telephone. So if you want to get on your phone and come back to us, we'll just sit here and chat until you get there. Hey, Avi. We're having technical difficulties, but we're going to get it straightened out in just a moment's time. There she is. Hey,
Hello,
Maureen.
Maureen.
You there? Click on your mic in the bottom left. And
Hello.
we'll be able to hear you. There she is.
Hi,
How are
love.
you? How are you, love?
I'm great. I'm a little bit stressed with packing, but I'm good.
Oh, well, packing is a good thing in your case. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But I'm going to give you the due process of an introduction for those that may not know you.
Sure.
Our guest was born in Pennsylvania, but found a man of her dreams, Adrian, and since has moved to Switzerland, his homeland. Maureen has dipped her toes into many facets of the poker industry. She is the co-founder of Plon, the founder of two Facebook groups, one Globetrotting Ladies, the other Globetrotting Poker. Our guest opened her own poker room in Davos, Switzerland, is a poker tour guide, dealer, and has a background in finance and does web design, to just name a few hats that she wears. Our guest has a Hendon Mob over 161,000 in live cashes, with her best live cash of a little over $8,300 for winning the Ladies Diamond Bracelet event. Please, I want to say one more thing. In 2023, Maureen has made 16 final tables, including a first place finish at the Grand Poker Series at the Golden Nugget this past summer, where she won a little over $4,600 in that ladies' event. So please welcome Maureen to our space, Maureen Bloechlinger.
Hi, thank you so much for the great introduction. Did you really count the final tables? I didn't realize it was 16.
Well, and I was looking through your Hendon and I was like, oh my gosh, let me look at this chick's 2023, because, I follow you, but not that closely, right? That I would know that. And so I was like, she has been killing it this year. I have to count how many final tables, and it's only the beginning of November. And so guess what? My prediction is that's going to be over 20 by the 31st of December, ma'am.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
Now, I want you to bear with me for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say some country names and then ask you a question when I'm done with this list. Liechtenstein, India, Malta, Switzerland, Vietnam, Taiwan, Cambodia, Italy, Bucharest, the United States, Czech Republic, Monaco, the Philippines, Austria, Belgium, the UK, the Netherlands. What is the significance of all those countries in your poker life? Did I lose you? Uh-oh. We may have lost her.
I'm here.
I think she's in shock at how many countries there is.
Were you able to hear my list?
Yes. I think that's all the places I played poker.
That is all the countries that you've earned a flag playing poker. Can you describe to our audience what it means to earn a flag?
Yes. So you're referring to the Hunter Mob database?
Yes,
and they
ma'am.
have a special ranking called Flag Hunter. So in order to qualify, it can't be a satellite. It would have to be a event. Ladies events counts, open events counts, but not satellites. So if you cash in an event, it can even be, as minimal as $5. But if you cash, you then get the flag on your profile.
So Maureen has won or made it to the money in a tournament in every one of those countries I listed out, which is just amazing to me. And I know you take very great pride in flag chasing, and it's very exciting to you every time you add one to your list.
Yes. And I don't know if you know this story. Do we have time for a quick story?
Please, we have all the time you want.
Yeah, you're going to have to compete with Andy, flag wanker.
Maureen, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead and tell your story.
So Donna, I think, knows this because she was there when it happened. But basically, it took me 5 or 6 trips to Malta before I cashed in an event that qualified to receive a flag. Before that, I was just crushing satellites, so never had a flag.
Well, that's kind of a sick brag. 5 or 6 trips to Malta. I mean, geez, it could be worse.
Yeah, I know, but it's just to show how difficult it is sometimes, right? Because if you're on a downswing and on a vacation, you sometimes don't get the flag or cash.
Right. And it can be very disappointing when you're traveling that far, can it?
Yes, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
Now, I know Rebecca McAdam from Poker Stars is coming into Vegas for the NAPT and
Mm-hmm.
is hosting a women in poker meet and greet and panel discussion on November the 5th at 10 a.m. And would you like to add anything to that?
Yes. So I'm supposed to be bringing a friend, someone I know that would like to learn poker. And since I don't live in the US, I need someone to bring.
So, if you have a wife or girlfriend, a sister or cousin that wants to learn a little bit more about poker, Maureen is looking for a friend to go with her to this meetup, this meet and greet and panel discussion, where they're going to not only talk about things of poker and women in poker, but they're also going to have beginners lessons. So, uh, DM Maureen, or if you can't get a hold of her, DM me and I'll help you connect if you have somebody that could that might like to go with her. It's a free event. It doesn't cost anything, and there's going to be some brilliant female poker players there. Definitely worth the cost of admission, which of course is zero. Now, Donna, what did you have?
I remember Maureen's first flag in Malta. It was tears and frustrations. Hang on a minute, I'm going up the hill. I'm driving. Yeah, it was really frustrating for Maureen because, like, she used to get so close. Come on.
This is where
And,
Donna takes her life into her own hands while we're interviewing.
and I was so over the moon that she'd finally got a flag. It was amazing. Yeah, I missed you. I missed you this time, but I'll see you again soon.
Now you're just coming off your trip to Malta. You just got home last night or early this morning, Maureen. Tell us some of the highlights from that trip to Malta this year.
Yes. So this year was quite special because my group, Globetrotting Poker, we hosted 2 excursions. So we did a city tour to Valletta on a privately chartered hop on hop off bus. So we had the whole bus to ourselves, which was pretty cool. And then on Sunday morning, I hosted again a private charter, a catamaran. So there was 25 players on the catamaran, sailing around the Mediterranean Sea. We all went for a dip and then came back so that we could play day 2 of the main event.
I love it. And Sean McCormick was talking about this type of thing happening in Vegas. So, Sean, there's some suggestions for you. Maybe a boat ride on Lake Mead um, could be scheduled, which I think would be so much fun. So let's talk about, I've been wanting to interview you for 3 years when I used to do the radio show, and we always said we wanted to wait to the right moment. When you bink something or you were excited about something. Well, I think we found it. I think we
Yes.
found your bink moment. And I think we found something you're excited about. And I hope everybody watched. I know you did, and I did, and Donna posted your video that you did for poker.org explaining your whole experience winning this package. But I want you to tell our audience how you turned an $11 investment into a package to go to Vegas. Please, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So I live in Switzerland, so we have access to real money poker stars, the .com market. So, the international market. So they have something called a power path. And like you mentioned, there's different steps. So the $11 is a step 3. And basically, in step 3, your goal is to get a 109 ticket. And with this 109 ticket, then you go into the step 4, which then
We've lost you, Maureen.
Maureen, we've lost you.
Yeah, this is so weird. I don't know why we
Yeah,
keep on losing each other.
it just happens with
Okay.
Twitter Spaces. So you had to get the $109 ticket.
Yeah, and then with this, you could enter the step 4. And in step 4, they give away packages. Well, not giveaway packages. The prize pool of the 109 tickets yields packages, right? So about 3 weeks ago, I saw Asif. I think you guys know Asif.
Yes.
He's like a serial
The poker
um,
tourist.
poker star. Yeah, exactly, poker tourist. Um, and he was mentioning, play tonight, extra value, etc. So I grinded my Sunday and got 1 ticket. I'm like, okay, let's try it. I registered, played the 109 ticket, played 2 hands, kings and then aces, both all in pre-flop, both no good. So then I tried to go in again, and then I got an error message, and it said, you need a ticket. You just can't buy in with money. So I didn't know that, because a lot of satellites, right? You can also buy in with real money. But in this case, for Poker Stars, you need a ticket. So then I had to change. Yeah. So then I had to change my strategy. So then the week after, I'm like, okay, then from 2:00 onwards, I need to stock up on 109 tickets. So basically, I was grinding these $11 step 3s, trying to have, a lot of 109 tickets in my wallet. So again, I wound up winning 1. And because it was so late, it automatically registered me into the step 4. And it registered me with 15 big blinds.
Oh,
And I'm just
shoot.
like, oh no. So of course, yeah. So like no break, right? No warning. It's like, boom, I'm playing the 109 ticket qualifier. And then I tweeted to PokerStars like, hey, why didn't you give me like a opt out? And then they said, no, the satellite you joined, it said the target tournament, and I had to play. So then it's Sunday grind. So I had my women's Sunday up and some other tournaments, and it was not a good day at all. Like I was busting everything. And then it got to the point the night kept on wearing on and on and on. And then I was down to 1 table. So then I'm reading, I'm like, oh, I'm still in this 109 power path. And oh, there was like over 900 people. And oh my God, we're 20 people off the money.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. And by this time, another guy on Twitter, Colin, he saw that I was playing. So then he was tweeting, good luck, Maureen. And if you're on Poker Stars, people don't know this, but you can sweat other tables. So if you have a valid login, you can search different players and pull up their table and watch. So I found out later, like people were actually watching me play. And
oh, that's awesome. They were railing you.
Lost you again.
Seems
am
like
I back?
Yep, you're back.
Okay.
I said, oh, they were railing you, and then you cut out.
Yeah. So then Colin tweets and is like, remember, the bronze ticket is only worth $109 for the Sunday Millions. Your goal is silver or gold, because the silver would have been a $2,500 package. And then the gold would have been 10,000. So I'm like, okay. So at one point I was like, 2 from busting, and I wound up spinning it up. And once the bubble bursted, players were dropping like flies. Then all of a sudden, I was playing, grinding, listening to my music. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I said, we're 3 off the silver package. And like, I'm like yelling because, my husband was actually watching Formula One in the other room. So he's like, what are you doing? Do you want to watch the race? I'm like, well, I'm kind of like 3 off this package. So, he's asking, he's asking like, what package? I'm like, I don't know, something with Vegas. I'm playing, I'll look it up later. So then we have a break. I go into my lobby, look up the details. So I send Adrian, that's my husband, the details of what package I could win. And basically I'm like, oh, that would be cool. It would be like a mini Vegas, some spending money for flight. And I think it was like enough for a main event seat, like 1,650. So I'm like, okay, let me try for the silver. Then, with Poker Stars, the platform, when you're in the money, it basically like booms confetti and like there's poker chips flying everywhere. I'm like, oh my God, like I just won the silver package. And there was 3 or 4 silver packages available. So I like yelled to him, I'm like, oh, hon, we're going to Vegas. Okay. So this is where Adrian really starts getting interested, like comes behind me in the study and is like, oh my God, like where are you, And by this time I have like the other table up and I'm sweating the other table as well. And I saw a name that I recognized and it was Slow Doke. So I don't know if you guys know who Slow Doke is.
We actually have interviewed him on my show and Brian's show. So Dara O'Kearney, for those of you that heard that interview.
Yeah, so I'm like freaking out by this point. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in and Dara's still in. Like, oh my God, like I couldn't believe it. The other screen names I didn't recognize at all. Then I was kind of short. I mean, the whole satellite was pretty crazy. Like the chip leader by this point had 22 big blinds. Like the short stack had about 6 and everyone else, somewhere in between. So I get ace king. Then all of a sudden.
Uh-oh, she's in timeout again. It must be the satellite.
Hello? Okay. Am I back?
Yeah. Okay. All of a sudden.
Yeah. So that's what happened that night. I shoved my ace king all in. Everyone knows ace king's my favorite hand. My chips go in the center and then basically my computer freezes. It goes white. And I'm like, oh my God, like why now? Like the whole night my computer's behaving and in this critical moment, it freezes.
Oh my God, how nerve-wracking.
Yeah. So then, although my table froze, my lobby was still live. So in the lobby, I saw 2 people disappear, like, 2 people knocked out. I'm like, oh no, that can be me. Like, I don't know what happened because my screen's frozen. Then like all of a sudden the screen comes back up and I have more chips. And I honestly don't know what happened that hand because then yeah.
You were literally blind in that hand.
Yes. And then basically, I was like, I don't know what happened. And then one of the people that busted was Slow Doke. And I'm like, oh my God, like what is happening? Then all of a sudden, like, I'm just like, playing my hands. And then all of a sudden it doesn't even go to like game pause, right? Because like live poker, if you're playing online, you also have a bubble. And online, they basically freeze all the tables and you get a message that comes up, game pause, waiting for other tables to finish. That's normally what happens on an online bubble. Well, this time, nothing happened. All of a sudden, it pops me on another table, and then all of a sudden it's like more fireworks, more confetti, and then the words "final table" comes up. So something crazy. Yeah, so something crazy happened on the secondary table. And then all of a sudden, bam, we're at the final table. So at this time, I'm like freaking out. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like mid-stack. And the guy to my right has 0.85 of a big blind.
Poor guy. He's sweating bullets. How did he get that far is probably what he's thinking to himself.
Yeah. And then I'm looking at the final table names. I'm like, oh my God, I don't see Slow Doke. I don't know what happened. And I don't know what happened to this day. I didn't really check. And then basically I'm like, oh my God, I have to fold everything. Like mathematically speaking, I should get a seat because of my position, because of all the short stacks. Like, I can't get tempted. I don't even want to look, but I don't want to, not play and, risk, something crazy going on. So I have to actively fold, right? So that was my game plan.
Right.
And by this time, apparently, again, there was a lot of spectators and a lot of comments in the chat and lots of congratulations. I'm like, yeah, but there is no congrats yet because we still need to lose one for the gold package. And then when the guy or girl with 0.85 was in the big blind, things got out of control. Like cutoff raises, another short stack flat, the small blind decides to flat, and then, the big blind is auto all in. And long story short, I mean, it wasn't checked down after that happened. There was like tons of action and even more all-ins. And the guy or girl with 0.85 wound up getting a package.
Oh, I love it so much.
Yeah. And I'm like screaming. I'm like, oh my God, like what is happening? Everyone should just fold, like.
Yeah. Like why waste a chip? Why waste a chip? Let the short stacks go at it.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, I think then like 2 hands later, someone else busted and
Uh-oh, she's in timeout again.
Maureen, it's them cannons.
am I back?
You're back. So you
Okay.
said 2 hands later, then what happened?
Then we were 8. And basically the lobby said 8 packages would be rewarded, but the game didn't freeze. So basically us players were confused and then writing in the chat, what's going on? We all win the same prize. Why do we have to play it out? So I think maybe it was like program wrong or something. So then we just wound up playing it out. And then Poker Tourist called me by this time and he's like, oh my God, do you realize what you just won? I'm like, yeah, Vegas. And he's like, no, it's Vegas plus the F1 package. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
let's just go over this package that you won that you had no clue you won, which makes this story even 1,000 times better. Let's just go down the list of things in this package, shall we? It's the
Yes.
golden package, and it's a high roller seat in the amount of $5,300, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Then 10 days accommodations at Resorts World, and they estimate that at $5,300. Flight expense and expenses, they're giving you an allowance of $3,600. A 3-day pass at the Oracle Red Bull Racing Grandstand fan experience, and they're valuing that at $6,000. Now, all those things we are aware of about poker and all that, I want to know if you found out any details about this fan experience. What does that mean? Uh-oh, we lost her. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear me read the list of things in the
Yes.
package? Okay, perfect.
So I'm still waiting for the technicalities to be passed on to me from PokerStars. I emailed them again today and it's coming today or tomorrow. But from Googling, it seems to be a special area of the Formula One where we have the tickets. And I don't know any further details at the moment.
How exciting is that?
Yeah. And
that's so cool.
Yeah, and we are F1 fans, my husband and I, so it's even like more special. I always wanted to go to Singapore for the night race. And then basically Vegas will be a Saturday night race through the city. I mean, it's just so exciting.
It's unbelievable. And I want you to get me a pin, and of course I'll pay pay you for it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Okay. My pleasure.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
appreciate that. Um, I just find it, the whole story that they put you in, you weren't quite ready to, get started, and then you didn't know what you were really playing for. And then Adrian's actually in the other room watching Formula One.
Mhm.
I just think, that's called the stars and the moon are aligning in my books. Donna, did you have any questions? She may still be driving.
No, I've
Yeah.
just got my coffee.
Ah,
Okay. All right. I like to play a little thing called rapid fire. Are you familiar, Maureen?
not really.
Okay, so I'm going to give you choices, like two choices, and you have to pick which one suits you best.
Okay.
And I'm just going to tell you ahead of time. And for those of you that have listened to Brian and my show, you'll understand why I'll say this. And Maureen, after I ask you and down the list here, you'll understand why. But I want everybody to please note that I had to adapt one of the questions because I always ask our male guests the question, and I thought it was fair game to ask our female the question. So here we
Okay.
go, Maureen.
All right.
Margarita or wine?
Margarita.
Dumplings or steak?
Steak.
Online poker or live poker?
Mm. Do I have to choose?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, I prefer live.
All right. Limit or no limit?
No limit.
Kings or Las Vegas?
Oh, you're making all the hard questions. Las Vegas.
All right. Granny panties or a thong?
Granny panties.
Eagles or Steelers?
Eagles.
There we go. There's Maureen in a rapid fire. And I'm sure everybody knows by now that the question in question was boxers or briefs for the men. So, um, you know, just had to make sure the girls are covered too. I don't want nobody getting upset that I didn't ask those hard questions of our female guests. So tell us when you're leaving for Vegas.
I leave Friday morning at 9:30 my time in the morning.
Okay. And are you going to stay through the WPT or not?
It's quite long. So I'm leaving so early, November 3rd, because I really wanted to attend the Poker Stars women's event on November 5th. And the NAPT officially ends on November 12th. The Formula One is officially 16th, 17th, 18th. Then to stay all the way for WPT, it's like 2 weeks of downtime. I'm not sure.
That's a lot of downtime. Not that you won't be able to occupy your time, but that's a long time in Vegas for sure
Yeah.
because
And
it doesn't
I
start. Go ahead.
yeah, and I've been to Vegas this summer. That was like 7 weeks. I
Right.
was away from home already. And I have stuff to do here in Switzerland. Like I would love to do it all, but I can't do it all.
No, and guess what? A free trip takes priority, right? And that Formula One race. A lot of the folks that we hang out with here in the spaces and in real life would love to have that opportunity, and it's just not in their financial wheelhouse. So I can't wait to see the pictures and hear the stories about that race.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take lots of footage. I'll definitely be sharing a lot, and I'm still kind of undecided if I turn my footage into something bigger. That's something I need to think. Yeah,
I love that. Why not do your journey? I think that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
I think that's awesome. I wish I was going to be there. I would help you take the footage and the pictures. I think that's a great idea, Maureen. Do it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit nervous, but maybe nervous is the wrong word because, I don't know what to expect. Is the strip going to be shut down? Is it going to be hard to get food? Is it going to be hard to move around? Because the Formula Ones I attended before were on tracks, so always outside of the city.
Yeah, I think all the things you mentioned are going to be a nightmare. I mean, if you think about walking around Vegas now, you're already going through what I call the cattle stalls, right? They have you directed by fences and barricades, and you can't cross the street at willy nilly. You have to follow the pathway, and having road closures and things, I think are just going to add to that misery. But I also think it's going to be doable because you know your way around Vegas, right? And
Yeah.
so, and you're going to have your poker backpack with snacks in it, which will hold you over till you can get some real food.
Yeah, exactly. We're definitely going to do like a big supermarket run with like drinks, water, soft drinks, snacks for the room, just in case it is difficult to get food. Because again, I don't know what to expect for a city race in Vegas, and it's their first time doing it. So yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not real familiar with the strip down or the area down by Resorts World. So for me, it would not be easy for me to like maneuver down that way because I just haven't spent a lot of time. And, like I always stay at like Harrah's or Horseshoe or Caesars. So I know that area. I know I can cut through this restaurant or this casino and, take this walkway or whatever. So I think
Yeah.
that will prove to be interesting, at least for me. I would.
Now, Now, the plus side is it's not hot like WSOP summer hot. So possibly we can walk more. And I know everyone listening is probably laughing because, we all know that friend who always wants to walk in Vegas. Well, that might be me this time.
And it looks like it's a half a block away, and it's actually a damn marathon, 26 miles away. Uh, we were talking about something earlier, and I just want to touch base with it on it because I think it's a worthy conversation. We were talking about the the Caesars not being in charge of the Hall of Fame anymore, and my suggestion was not that they're saying that we were just talking about that we think there's a need to turn um, the W. I mean, I'm sorry, I was looking at a note to turn the Hall of Fame into a nonprofit group and bring the Women's Hall of Fame under that umbrella and the Poker Hall of Fame and have a whole new set of rules and actually have a building, a museum of the Poker Hall of Fame and dedicated to the Hall of Fame being run as a nonprofit with a new set of rules about voting and how to become a candidate for election. What do you think?
Yeah. So I think it would be needed. And this is a topic that actually kind of had me and Sean in contact at one point. And I definitely see the need. I mean, even if let's just look at the Women's Hall of Fame. I mean, it's great, right? But like you said, I would love to see more archives, more history, more stories, more pictures in a central location in a physical building, like you just said.
Right.
And that's missing. Also, I understand, brands want to keep their identity where you have WSOP, WPT, Poker Stars, EPT, all keeping their own records. But as a player, I think it's also nice to see, like the entire accomplishments of one player. So, not only did they win 3 WSOP bracelets, but how many EPT trophies do they have? How many WPT titles? So I personally would like to see that. So in order to do that, yes, I believe you would have to then have a nonprofit who could compile all this information in one source.
And be non-biased, right?
Yes, correct.
Be non-biased voting, and you take the politics out of it, and make it, a true whatever secret ballot, whatever they come up with, but a true non-political voting system. Um, so people of every category have a fair shake. And, if you pissed off one person, you're never getting in the Hall of Fame the rest of your life because of politics. I'm not saying that's what's going on. I'm just saying that's something that could go on when you just have one group controlling something like that. And it just, to me, makes sense to make it a nonprofit, have an actual building. How exciting would that be? At WSOP time to be able to take folks to that building and say, here is, where we were and where we've come from. And, even the progression of women in poker. And I just think that so much could be done with that type of thing. I think that's such an exciting thing to think about. So anyway, I just wanted your thoughts on it for a minute.
Yeah. Now, did I miss something? I thought Horseshoe had had the physical Hall of Fame, or did something change?
No, I have not seen it. So my understanding there is, and I don't even know how to describe it. Is it a room? Is it a hallway? I have no idea because I did not see it.
It's
But
the hallway.
Say that again, please.
Even it's a hallway.
Oh, it's a hallway. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Can't believe you couldn't translate that.
Oh God, you just kind of cut in and out, really. I don't know. I just think a freestanding building that could be open 12 months a year, promoting poker by allowing people to come to this building and tour it. It could be like the Mob Museum, but it's the poker museum, right? And
Yes.
so they're promoting poker and all year round, and you could maybe have a WPA office in there that's promoting women in poker all year round. And I don't know, I just see that it could turn into something very valuable in the world of poker. And I think it could be done without stepping on anyone's toes because, it's awesome that the WSOP has done this since it was turned over from the Binions. I think it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love to see it continued, but I think it needs to be a bigger picture. I think it just needs to be a bigger picture.
Yes, for sure. I would be interested in a role if that ever materialized, for sure.
Yeah, me too. I mean, absolutely 100% work on that project. It's exciting and yeah. For sure. So tell us, and if you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. It's just something you and I haven't talked about in a while. Are you going to have any poker in Davos in in the near future?
So I kind of have some sad news. So Davos is very special, right? Because Davos is the home of the World Economic Forum. And I lost my space to Microsoft. So I'm actually looking for a new space. Hopefully we can do something in winter still, but opening November and having my Christmas event won't be on the cards at the moment. Probably aiming for after World Economic Forum to hopefully work with a new partner to host again. It's very difficult. And I mean, a lot of it has to do with too, when I talk to different landlords or talk to people, there's just a negative stigmatism still linked to poker that no one even wants to take a meeting with me sometimes.
So disappointing, right? It's so disappointing. And, but Maureen, a door closes, a window opens, and God had plans for you to be in Vegas in November and not host in Davos. So here we go, girl.
Yeah, I think so. And, it's not over. It's just on pause at the moment, and I'm not going to give up. So I want to make that clear too.
Good for you.
And I do kind of have a space 2025 because that's just the way Switzerland works, right? So then it's just coming up, okay, so what are we going to do in 2024?
So this is what you're going to do. You're going to bink this this main event at NAPT, and then you're going to be touring around for 2024, getting some more flags so that you can have some poker in Davos in 25. So there you go. We got it all worked out for you. Go ahead,
Oh,
Donna.
thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Maureen, as you know, we've spoken about this, but I think being a woman as well, especially in the poker industry over there, it's very, very hard, and you've come up a lot against a lot of walls. And I'm so proud of how you've overcome this. And it will happen, and Davos will be up and running again. I'm sure of that 100%. And you know you've got my backing.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Well, as Donna said, you've jumped through a lot of hoops to make that happen, and you absolutely should be so proud of yourself for A, not taking no for an answer, B, not allowing yourself to be defeated when other people may have been. You persevered, and it's awesome, Maureen. It's so awesome. So proud of you.
Thank you so much.
I need to give a little shout out to Donna Blivens is in our audience today. She's going to be on Poker Insider Spaces Friday at 4:30 Pacific time and giving us some mindset activities that evening and a little bit of an interview. So I'm sure it's going to be awesome. So that's Friday at 4:30 Pacific time. So thanks for joining us today, Donna. Appreciate you. Donna Morton, you have any other questions?
Yeah. Did anyone straddle cannons this year?
No, our group had a different focus. So what Donna is referring to is Malta. In Malta, there's a lot of cannons throughout the city, and we had a wild city trip a couple months ago during the Malta Poker Festival Spring Edition, and we have some wild pictures, especially with Donna straddling the cannon, but that didn't happen this time.
Which is my profile picture.
The cannons were safe from Donna this month.
I think Buddy would have been disappointed that I wasn't over this time, so we could straddle cannons, because that was the thing that was going around since it happened. So yeah, it will happen, but not just this time. Maybe next time you're over, we'll do straddle cannons again.
And I found a new one with a great backdrop. So I'll show you that when you come to Malta Poker Festival next year.
That sounds wonderful. That is going to be so much fun.
Love it. I love it. Now, after you get back from Vegas, what is your plan for traveling after that, Maureen?
I honestly don't know. I mean, maybe EPT Prague, because I have a women's event on December 10th. Possibly just playing locally in Liechtenstein, because they just announced like a Christmas winter event. Or maybe just a break. I'm honestly not sure. Or who knows? Maybe I just spend the 2 weeks in the US and meet you at WPT. Who knows?
I love it. I like that idea. I like that idea. You can hand deliver my Formula One pin to me. That'll be a perfect excuse.
Yeah. And that's the thing with live poker, right? Like, I'm sure many of the listeners also experience, like, if you're on a high, right, and on having like a good run, you just want to run it, right? You just want to go, 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 go. But then if you're on a downswing, right, it's like, okay, maybe let's, take a break, skip the next stop, do some more studying. So I honestly don't know. The only thing I have planned is January, because it's a faraway destination. I'm going to be playing in Malaysia at Genting's Resort in January.
I'm sorry, you cut out. Say the location again.
Malaysia.
Oh, Malaysia. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
About an hour away from Kuala Lumpur. So that's one milestone set, because it's a 14-hour flight and I needed to book the tickets.
Ooh, that's a long flight.
That sounds awesome, Maureen. I can't
Very
wait to
cool.
hear the details.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
I'm pretty excited about that one. And that's why, too, it's like, okay, maybe I just take December off. I honestly don't know. And it also depends on the GPI rankings. So currently, for the 5th year in the row, I'm still top ranked Swiss female player. So if it looks like I'm going to get caught, I'm going to have to play more.
Okay, is it even close?
Last time I checked, 130 points away, but I don't know. Like, because I don't know the other women's plans or if they're also chasing. So
Sure.
I just have my eye on that.
Now tell me, or tell all of us, give us a, um, if you had one piece of advice you would give a poker player, either a new or a seasoned player, what would that piece of advice be?
So the piece of advice that I always give my close friends is play the game that you're good at.
I love that. I love that. And we
Yeah.
hosted somebody um, last week. Ari came in. Ari Engel came in,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "You know, I even though I'm successful with what I'm doing, I don't play up because why would I play up? I'm successful where I'm at. Like I found my niche." I'm paraphrasing. You know, he's like, "I found
Yeah.
my niche. Why would I change what I'm doing? I'm winning, right?" And I believe that's so true.
Yeah, and it has to do with that, right? So the buy-in level, but for me, it also comes down to the structure and format. So like, a lot of my friends are, going to EPT Prague, main event, some other, large buy-ins. And it's like, that format, although I can play it, I don't excel at it. And I know, practice makes perfect, but at the same time, if I know I'm better at another type of game, I'd rather just concentrate on that. So, maybe you're good at satellites, some of the listeners, then just go play satellites. Who cares what your friends are saying or where your friends are going? Play what is your bread and butter. That's what my advice would be.
I think that's great advice. I think we lose sight in how many times somebody binks something fantastic, and then and maybe it was a $2,500 buy-in, and that's what they normally play, and then they bink something fantastic, and then all of a sudden they're playing 50Ks, and you're like, why are you playing this 50K? You just binked one tournament. Like you may want to bink a few more before you even think about going to a 50K.
Yes, for sure. For sure. But I'm sure others who would come on the show maybe have a different reasoning for moving up in stakes or playing those events. But for me, no, it's fine.
Now, tell me, what is the player pool like in Switzerland as far as the females are concerned?
Not very many. So about 2 weeks ago, October 7th, 3 weeks, we hosted the 6th Swiss Poker Ladies Championship. So that had 36 entries. But when we talk about open fields, not many at all. I would say less than 1%.
Oh, even the ladies that play the ladies event don't even play, huh?
Yeah, and even some of the ladies who came out for the ladies event didn't play the whole year, but came out for the ladies events to see everyone.
Well,
And
that's very important to have it then, isn't it?
yeah, and this is, the topic came up again in Malta, right? So guys coming up to me, why do you have ladies events? We should have men's only events, or they're not needed. And I tell them, ladies events are important in my opinion, because it provides a platform, a safe space where ladies can meet each other, gain confidence, practice their game, meet friends along the way. and then if they want, move into the open fields.
And they network and feel good about their poker. And
Yeah.
guess what? Then they stay with poker for a long time. It's just a stepping stone. And it just disappoints me when I hear people say that type of stuff. But I also know, just through experience, that those that say it just are not informed about it. And so I always, as I know you do too, I take it very serious, and I feel like, okay, let's have a chat. Let's get a little educated about why we need ladies only events, because they are important. And just respect our space. If you don't, agree with it, that's fine. Just respect our space and leave us alone. And it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and I would also be open, not many casinos do it. I would also be open, I think the one organization in the South does it, that rookies event under 25K.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's great, but I don't see that catching on, So I would totally support if, a club here in Switzerland or another partner casino would be willing to do that. Let's have some lessons for everyone who want to learn poker, not just women, have some drinks, have some social aspect, and then, have a game just for them for the same reasons, that you're not just thrown in, to $100 event with regs who maybe may not have the patience or are intimidating.
Right. I think the rookies events are a great angle. Um, again, a stepping stone for a new player, right? And it can't ever be a bad thing when it's helping people come to the game. It's just never a bad thing.
Yeah. And I point this out in many interviews because like here in Europe, the casino is different. Like it's not just like in Vegas where you walk in, walk through, do whatever. Here in Europe and most places, you need to check in. Like you need to physically stop, go to a check-in desk, show your ID, fill out paperwork, and then you're allowed in. So I think the whole process here could be intimidating for people who are new to the casino as well.
Yes, for sure. I mean, two things. Texas, their card rooms, you have to check in at the desk,
Okay.
and show ID. But regular, like states where it's legalized, casinos like Vegas or Florida or whatever, you don't. You just walk in like you say. Um, but I will tell you, the first time I went to a casino to play a tournament, it was the Hard Rock in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so nervous. And I'm a really confident person. Like I can walk into anywhere. I don't care, by myself. It doesn't matter. And I have no shame in my game. I'll ask you questions, directions, whatever. But it was so intimidating because I just didn't want to make myself look like a fool, right? I wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
fake it till I make it, look like I belong, look like I knew what I was doing, right? And I can remember standing by the desk, the tournament director's desk, reading the board, reading the directions, reading anything I could see within eye shot that would help me figure out what the hell I needed to do to get into a tournament. And after I read for about, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, I finally just walked up to the desk and said, I want to know, I think you have a tournament tonight, and I just wanted, and of course they were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They were fabulous, but it's still intimidating, you know, it's still intimidating to a new player. It was the first time I'd ever been into a poker room to play a tournament. And so to have those stepping stones for people, I think is very important. Now, I'm going to read a question that is in our comment section of our space.
Okay.
Queen Bee Poker wrote, "You're not playing the Win Women's or Prime events this year, Maureen, since you're already in Vegas."
Yeah. I know her in real life. Hi. again, if it's going good and I find something to do for 2 weeks and can still do my business that I need to get done in Switzerland, maybe I'll stay. But it's a long break between NAPT and WPT, and I can't play everything. But last year was amazing. I would love to stay and play, but I really need to see if it's in the cards or not.
Well, let me give you a little offer. If you want to stay and go up to Natalie's, you'll have a place to stay. If you want to look around what's up there, you could do like go to Glacier National Park or something. You could go up there and stay for 2 weeks. So think about that.
Okay, thank you. I'll think about it. And like Adrian's probably listening in the other room, like, no, I want her home.
Sorry, Adrian, I love you, but we'd only get her a few times a year. But you certainly are welcome to stay there for free, and there's lots to do in that area. So anyway, there's that offer if that helps you, of course.
Thank you.
You're
And that's
welcome.
the thing, living in Switzerland to go to EPT Prague is easy for me. I can even drive. So
Right.
then, I can go last minute, just jump in my car and go. As soon as we're talking Vegas, then we're talking, flight. If you wait too long, it's going to be through the roof. So that's why, yeah, I don't know.
Understandably. I mean, anybody can understand that. Of course, you got to do what's best for you. And, like I said, you're going to bink that main event, and, we're not going to see you for another 6 months because you'll be, jetting around.
Yeah, I am kind of tempted because doesn't Cherokee WSOP fall in between the two
yeah.
events?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I can see Adrian shaking his head now, going, "Oh my God, no!"
Yep. Yeah. And I'll be home. Yep. Now I will tell you, I leave for Vegas December 4th. So if you plan to stay further than that, I'm out. But
okay,
before that, I can help at least get you there. Get you set up, whatever. But yeah.
Okay.
There's always options, right?
Exactly.
There's always options. We can figure it out.
Yes, and I'm known to cancel flights and reschedule them. That's kind of what I do. So let's see.
Right on, sister. You know I am too. Well, Maureen, I'm not going to take up any more of your time because I know you've got to unpack so you can repack and get ready for Vegas. You're leaving on Friday, excuse me, and I already know it's early evening there. I appreciate you joining us. Much love to you. Good luck in Vegas and safe travels. Donna, you can have the last word.
Maureen, I love you. I miss you. Good luck in Vegas, my darling, and hopefully you're going to be staying over so we can get together, and all three of us. Watch out, Vegas. Here we come.
Oh, Lordy. All three of us together. You know what?
Yeah, that's trouble. That's trouble.
It
But
is
thank you
trouble.
for having me today. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and I might tune in on Friday for your session for the mindset.
Well, please do. It's at 4:30 Pacific time. But you know what, Maureen? I didn't ask anybody if they had any questions. So let's do that really quickly because I would hate for somebody to miss the opportunity.
Sure.
If you want to ask Maureen a question or have a comment, just click on that request button in your bottom left. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to do that. Just because I always love to, let folks do that if they want to. That's the nice thing about spaces. You get to ask questions or make comments with people that you may not get to do very often. Yes. So, okay. See no hands. Maureen, thank you again. Much love, dear.
Thank you very much. And I'll keep you posted.
Awesome. Thanks.
Safe travels. Bye.
Okay, bye.